Alright, now we're doing 7Q MinMinMax. This is by Codewars, and 93% of the people like it. So we're going to be given an unsorted array of integers, and we're going to find the smallest number in the array, the largest number in the array, and the smallest number between the two array bounds that is not in the array. Alright, so for instance, given the array this one, the smallest number is going to be negative 23, so right here. Largest 24 right here, and the smallest number between the array bounds is negative 22. So it's going to be negative 23 plus 1. We may assume the input is well formed. I don't know what that means anyway. So basically, our solution should return the array smallest, minimum absent, and then largest. And then the smallest integer should be the integer. Okay, so we already know that stuff. Here's some examples right here. With this one, this is the one that was up there. With this one, negative 3, 0, 8, because negative 3, negative 2, negative 1 all exist. So 0 doesn't exist before 1 it pops up. And then 8 because 8's the largest, all right? And then same thing down here, negative 5, negative 3 because there's a negative 4, and a 9 right here. All right, cool. So what I think we're going to do in this one to start off with, we're going to declare some variables. We're going to let result equal 0 to start off with, because we're going to do a for loop. And then we're also going to sort this array to get it from smallest to largest, so it's a little bit easier for us. And so we're going to say sort equals array dot sort, all right? And if you don't know about the sort method, basically it sorts a method of an array in place and returns the reference to the same array now sorted. The default sort order is ascending, built upon converting the elements into strings, then comparing their sequences of UTF-16 code unit values. Well, that's not going to work for us. So we've got to use the arrow function syntax, where basically we're going to say array.sort. We're going to have A and B in here for arguments. We're going to have an arrow right here, and then an expression right here to sort them out. And basically down here, what this says is that if the number that happens once we do this expression is positive, we're going to switch them around, and if it's negative, we're going to keep them the same. So basically, if like let's say it's negative 1 and checking against negative 1 and 0. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1, so they stay the same. Same with 0 and 1 and whatever. And if it's like 1 and 0, 1 here and 0 here, 0 minus 1 equals, is that how it goes? Yeah, 1 minus 0 equals positive 1, so they switch. Okay, so that makes sense. All right, hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to come over here, we're going to say A, B, and then we're going to have A minus B, all right? And if it's negative, it's not going to switch, and if it's positive, it will switch. So down here, we're going to do a for loop. We're going to say for let I equal 0, while I is less than sort.length. We're going to say I plus plus, all right? And so we're going to say right here, if array at I plus 1 does not equal array at I plus 1, what we're going to do is we're going to say result equals array at, not array, sort. Not bad. Sort. Sort at I plus 1. All right? And then we're going to break out of that. All right? So basically, and then down here, let's just do this. Return. And then we're going to say sort at 0, then result, then sort at sort.length minus 1, all right? And test that out. And it works all right. And so basically when it goes through, it's just going to see if this is the case, and if not, it's going to just add one to whatever the I is at, whatever the sorted I is at the moment, and then just break out of the thing and throw it down here. All right, so let's attempt it. Uh-oh, what's wrong? This number and this number are not the same. All right, so let's come over here. Let's say console.log, and let's say sort, so we can see exactly what's going on. Test it out. It's good on this one. Now attempt it again. All right, so this one's good. All these are good until it gets down here. So -7, -7, 6. So this is, pardon me, -6. So this is -6 right here. It's basing it off of this one right here, since these two don't equal. Since this one and this one, since this is not the case for this one right here, since this is not -6, it's going to put -6 in there instead of -5. So what we got to do is we got to get rid of these duplicates. Okay, we got to just consolidate these duplicates into one. And to do that, we're going to use the set constructor, all right? And that lets us create set objects that store unique values of any type, whether primitive values or object references. And let's come down here to see what a set is. Well, it doesn't tell us. Anyway, set. Anyway, a set is just a set of numbers that don't repeat. Basically, that's what it is. I wish there was somewhere that it said on this, but whatever. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this syntax right here, new set, and then we're going to put the array in there. So let's just bring it over here. Let's wrap this up in parentheses. In front of it, let's say new set. Now let's see what sort looks like. Test it out. All right, so this is getting good, but this is still a problem because we need this in an array and not in this set object, all right? So to do that, we're going to use this spread syntax by making an array literal, all right? So the spread syntax allows an iterable such as an array or string or a set object to be expanded in places where 0 or more arguments for function calls or element for array literals are expected. So we're going to use it for this array literal action right here. We're going to wrap this thing up one more time in brackets, and then in front of the in on new, we're going to say ... Now let's test it out. All right, looks good. Now let's attempt it. All right, it doesn't even need to do the console.log because that's exactly how we do it. And now you see, let's attempt it one more time. Now you see it works, right? But that was a little bit much when it came to the typing and looking up stuff. We could do it a different way. So let's just bring this stuff out of here. Let's get this stuff out of here. And let's say let result equals 0, just like before. And down here, let's do a while loop. Let's say while, right? So while... excuse me, let's say result. Result's not going to be that. Result, what we're going to do with result is we're going to make this the minimum, right? So we're going to make it the math.min of the whole array. So whichever the minimum, the smallest number is. All right, if you don't know about the math.min function, it just returns the smallest of the numbers given as input parameters, or infinity if there are no parameters. So basically we just put it in there with comma separated values, and that's good. So let's say let result equal array, math.min array. And let's do a console.log result while we're at it. Let's get rid of this while loop. All right, now let's test that out. And what's the deal with that? Well, like before, this function call needs comma separated values, so we're just going to use that spread syntax, which also can be used for function calls, and we're going to say ... in front of array. So test that out, and there we go, -23. All right. So now that we've got the min, what we're going to do is say while, and then we're going to say while Oh yeah, we're going to use this includes method as well. It's really anyway, whatever. So the includes method, it determines whether an array includes a certain value amongst its entries, returning true or false as appropriate. Okay, so while array dot includes result, all right, so while it includes the result, so while this is true, we're going to say result plus plus, all right? So add one more to it and check if that number's in there, and then add more to it and check if that number's in there, and until that number's not in there anymore. And then we're going to return the math.min of array, all right, comma, result, and then comma, and then we're going to use the math.max, which is basically the same thing except for it's max instead of min. We're going to say the math.max of array. Now let's test that out. Now look at that, and attempt it, and look at that, that works too. All right, so it's up to you which one you want to use. Both of them are pretty much the same speed, and one of them takes a lot less to type. So there we go, let's submit it. And you see this first one's pretty much what we did, except it's a little more wordy with the syntax. This one's this one's just a for loop doing the includes. This one's a whole mishmash. And let's go over to mine. Just me on this one, best practice in my opinion. Very much like it, and we'll see you next time.